Political analyst Peter Wickham believes the highly contentious Democratic Labour Party annual conference over the weekend has brought the political careers of Dr. Ronnie Yearwood and others in his faction to a screeching halt. He says the expelled former DLP president now has limited options.
I think the obvious thing to do is he can either go back to his academic career, which is not a bad move, or alternatively, he could try with a third party. My feeling is that, if Richie Haynes could not do it under the NDP, I don't see how Ronnie Yearwood could do it in an environment like this. But what is also clear is that the muscularity of the language that him and several of the others have used will make it very, very difficult for them to walk back a path towards the Democratic Labour Party. So my sense is that they have essentially blown up all the bridges between themselves and the DLP. And, essentially you've seen the termination of several bright political futures in one fell swoop, which I think is unfortunate. So I don't see a future in politics.
Mr. Wickham also shared his thoughts on the shadow cabinet announced by opposition leader and DLP political leader Ralph Thorne.
It's fairly clear that Ralph Thorne is trying to build a bridge to the future by imposing, one could say he's taken on board several new faces, people like Neil Marshall and so on that have never really been part of anything before. But he also has some of the old faces, the old guard, and I see them as a bridge. So the Richard Seelys, the David Eswicks, both of whom I don't believe should run for seats, but clearly he wants to rely on their expertise to some extent.
The political analyst says he's intrigued to know who will replace Senator Tricia Watson, who was removed by Mr. Thorne after serving in the upper house for only 6 months. Krystal Hoyte, CBC News.